So, like, regardless of, like, the controversy that surrounds the 1.9 plus updates, I
Yeah,
I will say this to anybody. I think the PvE is a big reason why I play 1.9 plus, because
yeah,
honestly, in 1.8, like, not even sugarcoating it, PvE is like a joke. I mean,
yeah.
you just run, you rush, and you can get anything. And I don't know. I
Well,
like.
I think it must be a combination of the fact that the AI is mucked up. People have played the game for so long to the
Mhm.
point where you can run even like okay, so most servers don't have mobs because they want to reduce latency and all that. Fair enough, but
Right.
even if there are mobs, it's really easy to counter them.
Mhm.
And I think the thing is with 1.9, it until we had that, we didn't really know anything else. But now we can clearly see that it is better than what we had
Mhm.
in 1.8 and 1.7 and all that.
Right.
It's like I can't describe it, but it
Yeah.
it definitely makes it a lot better.
Well, and that's what makes me so sad that there's not as many 1.9 plus UHCs out there,
Yeah,
or I should say any, because
yeah,
UHC, a big part of UHC is PvE, despite
yeah,
what a lot of people want it to be, I guess. Which, I mean,
yeah.
everyone has their own values and whatnot, but like
Hmm.
now now PvE is like the struggle of PvE is back. It feels like with 1.9.
Yeah,
You're no
no, it
longer
definitely is.
you're like you feel nostalgic for the days when you weren't good enough at PvE for to where it was scary in a UHC, or you like you'd watch
Yeah.
Minecrackers and stuff and you'd be like, oh my gosh, back when you weren't as good, you'd watch them and
Hmm.
you'd be like, oh my gosh, they're doing so good against those mobs right now and stuff, and you kind of feel that
Yeah,
way
yeah,
again in 1.9 because mobs are actually dangerous and they're actually a worrisome thing.
yeah. No, definitely. No, I think yeah, as you say, people don't really care about the PVE aspect. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's all about getting armored up. It's sad because that takes away not just the PVE, but just it takes out a lot of the whole Minecraft feel of it in general. It's
Right.
just like getting geared up and
Yeah, I know.
then going to fight. And that's it. I mean, it's cool and all, but
Yeah,
it loses part. It's certainly a huge aspect that drew me to UC. I
exactly.
really loved the PVE aspect
Mm-hmm.
originally, and I still do.
Yeah.
So
Well, and at some
there you
point,
go.
if you keep eliminating PVE and eliminating all these random numbers and like making
Mhm.
drops appear at the same time and stuff, eventually it's just going to
Yeah,
be kit PvP where everyone has the same kit and that kit is the best kit possible. So it's like at that point,
yeah.
wouldn't you rather just hop on Bad Lion and do some PvP
Meets up.
battles?
Yeah,
Because like some
yeah,
obviously not every UHC is guilty of this. This is kind of an exaggeration, but there's certain UHCs where it literally just is a kit PvP map, except for that it takes longer before you get to the PvP because mobs will be disabled,
yeah,
cut clean will be on, drops will be insane
yeah.
and stuff, and I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's sad. Unfortunately, like, the thing is, I would still play that sort of a game. It's just there's so much toxicity now in the community and so
Yeah,
much
yeah, that's a whole
immature.
nother
Like
story.
more
That's
so.
like, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So I've not played an awful lot of UHC recently just because of
Hmm.
it's a case of would I rather play UHC, have someone rage at me, or if I kill them, or say easy if they kill me, or
Hmm.
play single player and build and play 1.12 and
Yeah,
that and
there
enjoy
you
the
go.
game for what it is. So
Hmm. And I've
it's
been
just one
having
of
a
those
lot
things.
of fun with survival lately, like more fun with survival than I've
Mhm.
had in a long time, just building and whatnot.
Right, right.
And then
Yeah,
yeah, I like Minecraft for what it was originally, and
yeah.
some people don't, which is fine. But
The thing that gets me is those people, and I can give I could give you an example where things have gone right if people try, but it's the survival players that say, "Oh, I would play the new updates, but I don't like the combat." Well,
hmm
here's the thing: my mate Zenger, he was. Well, I guess I was against the combat originally. Like when you first heard about it, it was like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good,"
right,
but then you try and it's all right. Well, my mate Zenger, he was pretty much against it at first, and he was against it for a wee while, longer than I was anyway.
hmm
But he certainly has now really got into survival, and he's got single player in 1.12 and all that. And I think that's just an example of if you try it, give it a chance, you realise, okay, it's a bit different, but it's not much different. You just need
right.
to get used to it.
All
And
it is an adjustment,
it's
really. I mean,
right,
you
and
gotta
it's a
get it
decent
into muscle memory.
adjustment.
Yeah, and it's a big
Hmm.
adjustment, and I completely understand. why people don't like that combat. Like, I'm definitely not an advocate saying, oh, 1.9 combat is way better and this is definitive. You're wrong. Or
Yeah.
It's understandable. I mean, it's a huge change. It's natural that people wouldn't like it. But the thing is, though, for survival players, I find it a little strange that they wouldn't go to survival purely because of the combat. Mainly because there's so many other things that future updates now have, like wings or shulker shell or shulker boxes, which are extremely useful in survival. And then
Yep.
But yeah. But
I
I
agree.
do
It's
understand
sad.
why people don't like the combat. I think you're kind of dismissing a lot of other things that are being added if you don't go with it.
Sure.
It also doesn't help.
And at the end of the
sorry, but it also doesn't help that all the console editions aren't upgrading to 1.9 combat, and a large.
Are they not?
No, they're not. Not at least not of right now. They haven't said anything about doing it, and that's because a lot of the console or Pocket Edition, most of that's handled by Microsoft, and the Mojang development team mainly focus on the PC version, and they haven't upgraded to it, and it's because the majority of the people who play Minecraft on console edition and Pocket Edition are younger, and even PC edition for that matter. There's still a lot of older PC players though, and it just the system might be too complex for younger people to learn and stuff. So it makes sense that they are at least stalling to put it on. They might put it on in the future, who knows? But as of right now, they haven't done it, and that's such a large part of the player base is console edition, Pocket Edition. I think it's past PC edition now, and it's yeah, I don't know. It's basically more. It's a bigger and bigger barrier between 1.9 and previous versions now because of people's interest and whatnot. But yeah,
I've never got the impression, like they said they regretted the OP regeneration in 1.9. I've never got the impression that they regretted the combat. Like, but I don't know. I don't know if
well, and you remember,
I don't know if Microsoft have seen it.
Right,
Sorry?
Right. Well, and you remember how long it took for 1.9 to come out. Like, it was 2 years or something.
Oh, yeah.
The developers didn't, flip a coin and do
time.
this. They were thinking about it for a very, very long time.
Yeah,
and working at it forever. And I felt sad because I was looking at some of the tweets by Jeb, or maybe it was Dinnerbone or something, and there was so many replies of them just, yelling at them because they didn't like the combat. I forget what the tweet said exactly. But it's like, you can't... I mean, you can be upset with the combat, but can you really blame the developers for doing exactly what they think is best for the game? I mean, why would you hold it personally against a developer for just making the game he wants to make?
I was going to make this video. I didn't make it in the end because I thought it'd be too controversial. But I don't mind saying it here. Yeah. But I reckon it was a conspiracy theory. It was more of a troll. I was just going to troll with people. But I've got a feeling that the conspiracy theory is they saw the way the PvP community was going, and they made a change that they knew most people wouldn't like to kill off the PvP community because it was so toxic. Because this was 2015, mid 2015 was when the combat change first came out, and it was. I got the impression. Oh, I didn't get the impression. This was just me fooling about. But I kind of thought at that time the community was getting toxic. They must have thought, we don't want our game to turn out like this, so let's try and drive away all these people that are, Yeah.
But
it's probably just a conspiracy theory, but no more, no less. But, I don't know.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Try to get those players out.